Warning, the stunts and illusions performed on this program were designed and tested by Chris Angel, a highly trained professional. These demonstrations are extremely dangerous and should not be attempted by anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Suspended by 4 fish hooks pierced through my flesh, I will hang from a helicopter and be flown over Nevada's Valley of Fire. Pain can be a beautiful thing. Body suspension has been around throughout the course of history. It was used by tribes as a rite of passage and for religious beliefs as well. I was just blown away by the intensity of it, so I had to experience it.
Of course, he can't do it 6 feet off the ground. He's got to do it from a helicopter.
The last time I performed the body suspension was in Times Square. I hung for almost 6 hours by 8 fish hooks.
The one stunt that I knew he had performed in the past that I did not want him to repeat was the body suspension. His family members told me they didn't want him to do it again. Quite frankly, I promised his family we would not do that again. And then as we started to prepare for the show, he decided he wasn't going to replicate it. He was going to make it more intense.
We had to prepare for the body suspension, so we discussed it in my suite at the Aladdin Hotel.
Well, Chris, what's your goal for how long you want to be in the air to do this?
As little as possible. Because the fact of the matter is that what I'm dealing with in this particular demonstration, the things I never dealt with, and things I don't think anybody's ever dealt with. When I've done it previously, I did it in what's called the Superman position, which is kind of laying down. I know that you were talking suicide hang, which is basically hanging like this.
Straight up and down.
Straight up and down?
Right, straight up and down.
Really? Where are these hooks going exactly?
In my back.
Just across?
Mm-hmm. The first time I saw the body suspension, I saw papers about bodies hanging by hooks, and what the heck is this? No, don't even tell me you're even thinking about doing something like, oh, no, that's nothing, don't look at that. Okay.
Just for the safety's sake, do we have our flight plan to a hospital with the helipad?
I'm not going to lie, we are going to be in the middle of the desert. I want to choose places that at least have running water, so if there's just, gashes and blood galore, we can at least have the fundamentals, Well, but like...
My mom's back here freaking out. Because if we keep on talking about it, I'm going to back out of it.
We chose a beautiful location for the body suspension, the Valley of Fire. My life has been so chaotic, I haven't had any time for myself. I've been up literally 21 hours, 7 days a week shooting, and I needed a moment to really get my head around the demonstration. So I decided to ride to the location and just really reflect on what I had to do.
Insane. Well, man, camping out in the Valley of Fire. I'm not a good camper. I don't even have an alarm clock. How do we get up in the morning?
Roosters.
There is a difference between Chris Angel and the everyday man that we have gotten to know and Chris Angel's performance persona.
You see it? You see it? Uranus is right up there.
Let me see.
Uranus is right there. Oh, wow. Hot. Absolutely breathtaking. We rolled in here, it was dark. It was probably midnight, and, you couldn't see anything. And when I awoke and looked at this, it's just magnificent. Nice cushioned ground for me to fall into.
A lot of people, when they hang from hooks the first time, they vomit, they pass out. Here come our helicopters.
Landing over there, right? Here we go again.
This is the one you're hanging from. Okay. 2 birds in stereo.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm Chris.
Cliff Fleming, how you doing?
Pleasure to meet you, Cliff. You made quite an entrance.
No matter what he says, I know that there are risks involved. And even though he has a brilliant team, and of course his safety is always a #1 concern, accidents happen. And to me, it's just not worth the risk.
What are the safety measures?
What safety measures? What safety measures? There is no safety measures. He's hanging by stupid fish hooks. There is no safety. What safety? There is no safety.
Enter my mind. My mind.
Suspended by 4 fish hooks.
Oh my God!
Chris puts his life on the line. Coming up. Are you ready?
This is the first time anybody is doing this type of demonstration.
He'll be, God only knows, 500 to 1,500 feet off the ground.
Is he going that high?
I don't know.
I'm not fearful of dying. I really am not. But really, I'm more concerned about my family because I know what they go through every time I do one of these things. And my brother, JD, he just can't take it.
I thought he was going like 100 feet mountains. You know? He's going over these mountains?
Costa bites his nails a lot and smokes, but he's a little bit more tolerant with what I do.
I thought he was just hovering over the ground 100 feet or something.
They're going to stay stationary.
You're trying to tell me he's going over these mountains? Nobody told me that. Yo, bro, are you going over mountains or are you hovering?
I have no idea.
Wherever the helicopter.
I don't want to know. Just for the viewers at home, I don't take any painkillers. There's not anything that's going to numb the skin. It's like what you see is what you get.
Mind over matter.
Exactly.
What we're going to do with Chris is, first of all, we're going to clean and mark the skin. Assume the position and relax. Once it's cleaned and marked, we're going to be inserting the flesh hooks using 8-gauge needles.
This is the real deal. You can't take this if you're squeamish. Don't watch.
Take a deep breath in. Let out nice and slow. 3, 2, 1, push. Okay. Once needles are through, the hooks are followed through right afterwards. Then it's locked down with a nut and bolt so he can't come free. And as soon as he's ready to go, we're going to fly in the helicopter, lock him in, and take him off the ground. Slowly sit up just to let you feel change.
You're okay? I need to walk. Yeah.
I go to all the stunts I can go because to not be here and, God forbid, anything going wrong. If I wasn't here, I would never forgive myself, so I needed to be here, no matter how hard it is to watch. I needed to be here. On to the next phase.
Get a minute, all right? Do you mind? That's why I wanted to take a walk.
Frankly, I think Chris was somewhat hesitant to move forward with this. I saw more hesitation in his eyes and desire to move forward with this than anything else he had ever done. It was very, very scary.
When I hung by fish hooks for 6 hours, I was, very close to the ground. People could go up and get me. That's what makes me nervous about this helicopter because, something goes wrong, you have to, land a helicopter, and you can't just land it on the ground because, my body's there. So it's not a situation where you can just pull me out.
We're trying to call Cuesta. Cuesta's up on that mountain.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Trying to take some shots. I want to just let him know what's going on.
Hey, Cuesta, how are you?
How you doing, all right?
Good, yeah.
You guys must be frying up there.
Actually, it's not too bad. It's kind of nice. A beautiful view, and we're watching you guys closely, so behave yourselves.
We'll see you shortly. I'll fly right by you and say hello. Am I locked in?
You're locked in.
All right, give me a second.
This way. You're close enough to the ground. If you step off backwards, you can put your toes in the ground. There you go.
Just come here and hold me, better.
There you go.
Wait.
No worries. Got you at the perfect height. Tiptoes.
Alan was really trying to push me, but I have to do things in my own time. And he just kept on rushing me, and I wasn't mentally prepared yet.
I'm going to do a trick. I want you to walk backwards.
I don't do a trick yet.
No. I want you to move forward. There we go. There we go. Walk backwards. Good. Walk forward. Good. There we go. Good. Walk backwards. Walk forward.
All right, no, you're going to take it.
Come on.
Hang out.
All right. Give me some water.
Can I lean up?
Orange juice or water?
Just everybody, I need a little air or something. All right, just everybody shush. The worst thing that could happen is if I'm in that stage where I'm going up and I feel I'm going to pass out or puke my brains out or anything like that, I can't come down. If I come down, everything's blown. You have to get through that point to be able to get to the next point, because anybody that's ever puked or passed out has not been able to come back. You have to overcome it. It's the critical point.
It's much more difficult than Superman. That happened to me last time, remember? Mm-hmm. But I got through it.
Yeah.
But because you could hold my weight this time, I didn't feel like I don't know, I can't explain. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Sorry about it.
Enter my mind. In my mind.
The raw conclusion of body suspension.
Let him go! Oh my God!
Next. Are you ready? Mindfreak.
I'm sorry. I don't want to talk. I'm weird. I want to only talk when I want to talk.
We had to stop the stunt halfway through because Chris, quite frankly, I think it was way too painful, much more painful than he ever imagined.
Pissed off at myself right now, so.
But he's the most persistent, intense person I've ever met in my life, and he decided he was going to move forward with it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it if it kills me.
Any recommendations?
Music is great. iPod and headphones.
Yeah.
I swear by it.
Give me iPod and headphones. Corn.
Corn would be great.
Yeah. Jonathan Davis will be happy to know that he was instrumental to get me through this.
Years ago, I was afraid of needles. I just would pass out. Somebody would put a needle in my arm to take blood, and I would be out. That's honestly true. When my father got sick, and I spent over 3 years with him, taking him to hospitals and seeing all that he endured, I came to a realization, and that's why I'm able to overcome what some might never consider even attempting.
He's able to go from being around with everybody talking to go into a zone where he has to be, so that if he's inflicted with pain, he doesn't feel it.
No matter what the obstacles in front of him, he's got some power, some inner strength. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. All right.
He's off the ground.
I'm Chris Angel. That's right. Let's do this thing. You all right? Let's do it. Love you.
All the helicopters in.
Here he goes. Clock.
Bring him up.
Oh my God!
Pain is a state of mind. For me, it's a feeling of being alive. I live my life this way. When the mind, body, and spirit work as one, anything is possible.
Where
Of course, it's right up there. Of course, it's right up there.
When he finally landed, it was just a release. All the fear, the anxiety that we had, all came out in the form of tears and hugs and laughs, and it was a very, very moving experience.
More important. You did it. You freaking nuts!
When he landed and he started hugging everybody, you know, it was like Last Temptation of Christ. This guy was like walking around the dust, the wind, the heat, the blood, the tears. It was phenomenal. So, I mean, you know, he immediately transcended from that place.
You are too much.
Knew I would do it. I put my mind to it. I'll do it. I've worked my whole life in trying to create an art form that would please me and hopefully in turn please others. And I hope that they have an appreciation and a sense of my work ethic and my passion, whether they love me or hate me.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Ma.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom, I'm fine. Ma? I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm all right. Everything's done. I love you. I love you more. All right, I love you. Yes! Another thing I can add at this I'm not doing again.
Criss Angel is an artist. He's going to keep pushing the boundaries until the day he dies, which hopefully won't be on this show.